Art is too important not to share. Welcome to the Allie and Callie Artcast.
Hi, I'm Allie.
And I'm Callie. Welcome to the Artcast.
Yes, welcome to season 6.
Can you believe it? Of 2026.
Yeah.
It all rhymes. You like that?
I like that.
I'm a poet and didn't know it.
You are something, that's for sure.
I am. We're fresh, recovered from a little break.
Yep.
And feeling good. Happy to be back at it.
What did you do to freshen up?
Well, let's see. We're remodeling our basement, and it's not a lot of progress has been made. You know how things go.
We really do.
Gangbusters, and then nothing happens.
Right.
So it'll get done in probably 2027. You know, it'll get done eventually. But
I think about how long your countertop took.
Was that like 4 years?
Oh my God. Yeah.
Anyway, my son joined the National Guard, so he is off, and that was very emotional and sad.
Bet.
And he's in week 2.5, and I haven't heard from him, and it's the longest I've gone without talking to my son.
Yeah.
And I hate that.
Yeah.
And been babysitting my granddaughter when I can, and just got back from Costa Rica.
Costa Rica. I love Costa Rica.
Yeah, and I had never been and went with my mother-in-law, and we had a great time. Very different than what I envisioned. I think what we both envisioned, because it was drier than we thought, and it was very windy where we were. We had a lovely Airbnb, and a shout out to our host, Lisa, who was fabulous. I just felt like I was on a nature, sometimes a little scary. A little to the point where I'm like, am I in hell? I might die. Will I survive this trip?
Is that monkey going to eat me?
I know. That we saw howling monkeys. We saw the, I don't know how to say it, the coffee monkeys.
Yeah.
Is what I call them.
Right.
And then we saw lots of crocodiles, and our favorite was we went up to the rainforest and we did see sloths.
Yeah, the sloths.
And I literally could touch them, but you're not supposed to.
Yeah.
And I didn't.
Right.
Because I'm a rule follower.
Yes, you are.
I swam every day. It was 90 degrees. The beach was lovely.
Fun.
We had amazing sunsets. I will say it's not cheap to go to Costa Rica. The dollar is not, there's not really much difference from here, but it was so beautiful.
But their money is confusing.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I know.
Colognes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I was like, I just gave up.
I know. I could never figure it out. And you know how they have those guys that come along and walk along the street and they have something to sell that they handmade.
Yeah.
And this guy had this little braided grass thing. And I wanted to, it was pretty, and I wanted to give him a little bit of money for it. So I gave him what I thought, and Kevin's like, really wide-eyed, and after he left, because he was very happy, Kevin says, well, you just gave him $35.
Yeah.
And so I still have that little braided grass, because it's like, I paid a lot of money
for that braided grass. Yeah. I did buy beautiful jewelry at a market that I just absolutely love, and because it was art. It was gorgeous. The people were lovely. Everyone was so nice, so kind, and everyone spoke English, so there was no language barrier. Sometimes I speak a little fast, but I loved it. It was beautiful.
Nice.
So I say go if you haven't been.
Right.
But now I need to go somewhere new.
Right.
Next time.
And guess where we are going?
Where are we going?
In just a couple weeks, we're headed to Arizona.
We are. We're going to go down southwest.
That's right. We've got a couple of artists to talk to. And
Allie and Callie on the road
again. On the road again.
Because there are a lot of people in Coeur d'Alene that, sunbird down in Arizona.
That's true.
We have friends down there that, and speaking of a friend, Kristen Kilmer, our producer, moved down there. She's lining up some people. A good friend of mine is a silk painter artist who was an actress I went to college with. But we're very happy to be back. There's a lot of things going on in Coeur d'Alene, too.
There are a lot of things going on.
Hence, that's why we are here.
That's right. We are here with Britt Thurman from the Museum of North Idaho. Hello, Britt.
Hello.
Hello. We want to check in with you in your new space. You've been here for a year?
Almost. Yeah, we're at 11 months. So
Wow.
Yeah.
Feels like longer, though. This
Yeah.
is always meant to be our home, so it just feels like we've always been here.
Such a beautiful building. They've done such a great job in the remodeling, and we just want to catch an update on where you are and what's going on.
What's happening?
If I told you everything that was happening, I think this would be an hour long of just me talking.
We have
so much that's going on. It's fantastic. We have a space now finally where we can do more, and especially with us being right next to the library, and we're collaborating with them to do some programs as well. And so we just have something for pretty much every age, and however it is that you like to learn about history, we have something that's for you here. So we're gearing up for our first year ever to do, starts at the end of this month, spring break camp.
Ooh.
So kids,
Great.
parents sometimes have a hard time figuring out what to do with their kids when they're off for a week, but parents still have to be at work. So we'll be entertaining them and teaching them all about local history and doing some really fun projects. So that's a pretty cool, exciting thing because we have this whole big, nice outdoor space.
Yes.
And so we get to utilize it, and keep your fingers crossed for no rain for that one, though.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Bring an umbrella. It's okay.
Right.
It's
And
the
they're
Northwest.
kids. They're used to it.
They don't
Yeah.
care.
No.
They don't care.
Not like me. I'm like, oh, okay. There's a drizzle.
Right?
You got to stay inside. Can't go anywhere. They're
Good for the skin.
much hardier than I am in that regard.
Yeah, right.
And then we have our Easter egg hunt that's coming up that
Oh.
we did. We did it just because Easter weekend was when our grand opening was, and we figured that would be fun to have it be part of our festivities, do an Easter egg hunt, and it was so much fun for everyone that now it's just going to be an annual thing.
I
Awesome.
love that.
Except we never can just do something the same. We always have to make it bigger
Right.
each year. So now we're going to have vendors and different things.
Oh,
that are part of it,
fun.
too.
And you have the great space.
We do.
I mean,
yeah.
I went several times last summer, the open market on
Second Sunday.
second Sunday. You can see so many great booths. Is that a part of the museum? Do they get a little chunk of that?
We do, yeah. We're actually, because it was so successful, it's run through CDA Flea, and then they rented our property.
Nice.
And it was so successful that we worked with CDA Flea, and so we'll actually be running, so it'll be 2 times a month, so not just second Sunday, but also the 4th Sunday.
Ooh.
And the museum will be running the 4th Sunday one on our own.
Oh,
and
cool.
So we're dabbling into
Wow.
the coordination aspect of it and all of that fun part.
Oh, that's
And
cool.
so we'll have 2 of them between May and September. We'll have 2 flea markets a month that's here. And it's also great because it just gets people and they come in the museum and they go through the exhibits, and so
Love
you
it.
can buy a cool vintage find and also learn a new local history fact. So
I love that.
Where else can you do that? So
Well, you just opened an exhibit, and I'm really interested in hearing about it because immigration obviously is a big hot topic these days. And so you're focusing on early immigrants in our area.
Correct. Yes. So our exhibit is Moments That Made Us, Early Immigrants of North Idaho. And we're focusing on that 1880 to 1910 time frame when we had so many settlers. Our population grew so much in those 30 years. We grew to 10,000 people by 1910. And a lot of the people that were coming over were immigrants who were born in another country. And either they came from another country directly to Coeur d'Alene or North Idaho, or they made a stop along the way, which is more often than not the case because it took a little bit to get to Idaho.
Just a little.
From Europe.
A couple of passes.
Just a little bit. Yeah. So we just want to honor those people. A lot of them that they're just regular names that you know of, like Frederick Post with Post Falls, who was a German immigrant. And there's stories over and over again. They're just kind of common names that we know of today, or at least I think people do. I think people know a lot more local history than is often the case, but we're working to change that. And now you get to learn their story of, where did they come from? Why did they they leave? How did they pick Coeur d'Alene of all places in America to settle?
Yeah.
How did they make their way all the way over to us? And then they stayed. They loved it here because how could you not? And
How could you not?
Exactly.
Right.
And then they had a profound impact on this area. And our community is what it is today because of the work that these immigrants did. So whether they were town builders like Frederick Post, or they worked in the mines or on the railroad or as loggers, they all played a part in what we have today. For North
Right.
Idaho.
I've been learning a lot about the very colorful characters from the early days of the Coeur d'Alene and Silver Valley time period. And it's fascinating.
It is.
Yeah.
Silver Valley in particular. I just, there's a different culture to Silver Valley. And and I don't know if it's because it's this little valley that's, tucked in this mountain range.
Yeah.
And so, there's all these kind of places that you can go and like sneak off to. So all these, clandestine kind of things that you don't want people to know that you're doing with prohibition and moonshine and who knows what.
Yep.
But it just seems to be the most interesting characters that settled in Silver Valley. So there's some great stories that come out.
There are great stories.
So do you have the elementary schools and junior highs, do they come here and visit the museum?
We don't normally get middle school students too often,
Just
which is
elementary.
disappointing for us. We want everybody to go.
Yeah, of
but
course.
we get a lot of elementary school students
Good.
that come in.
Well, start them
And
young. Get them to know
love
everything.
it.
Yeah. Get excited about history.
I have had a love for history since when I could remember. So it worked out to have this for a career. But a lot of people, they think of history and it's like this happened on this date and then this happened on this date and this person did this.
Right.
And that's not the kind of history that I like or that I want to teach, but more what are the broad themes and what can we learn and what caused this other thing to happen, and not getting so hung up on the specific dates that things happen, but more just a timeline of cause and effect kind of actions and what we can learn from those for today. And so I think when you take that memorization aspect out of it, kids have a lot more fun.
For those of you who don't know you, Britt, what is your background?
So my background, I'm from Coeur d'Alene, went to school here, and I have my bachelor's degree in history and my master's in museum studies, and then worked for museums kind of across the East Coast, and then was able to come back home and take over the museum. That was over 5 years ago now.
That's amazing.
Which is crazy to think that much time has gone by.
Right. Yeah.
I still feel like the new kid on the block, but I can't use that excuse anymore. Yeah. So, if I make a mistake, I just have to own it now.
Right.
But yeah, so I kind of knew early on that history was it for me, but didn't necessarily think of museums until I had a really great advisor at the University of Idaho, and it was like my light bulb moment, and never looked back.
That's great.
love
And you
that.
have a staff here.
We do. Yeah, that's great. We have 2 other full-time staff members and a couple of part-time staff members, and then a swarm of our little volunteer army that without them, we wouldn't get anything done. And so if you count all of them into it, we're a staff of about 50. So
That's great.
Wow, that's
And you have
great.
an amazing board. I just want to mention
We do.
the board. I know you have a lot of events that keep this functioning, and they throw some amazing parties.
Oh, yeah.
yes.
Yes, I know. I love how you go theme by theme.
Right.
Years. When are your big parties?
So our big party of the year is Thursday, June 25th. So we always have it on the last Thursday of the month. And then, like you said, we theme it every year after a different decade in North Idaho's history. And we're deviating a little bit this year since it is the big 250th anniversary, birthday, however you want to say it, commemoration of our country. So we can't let that go by. So
Right.
we're doing our America 250 years in the making, and it'll be all 1776 Revolutionary era.
I love it.
So bring out your bustles.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see how many men dress up for it and do the little
tights
and
and
the
the-
breeches, so we can see their good calves.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Should be a lot of fun. So yeah, we don't want to just have fundraising events. We want to always have it be a nod to some historical event.
Yeah.
And make you feel like you're kind of going back in time a little bit.
Right. And hopefully people are doing a little research when they come to dress appropriately and learn a little bit
Absolutely.
more about that era as well. So
No
it's
hoop
an
skirts.
education. No hoop
No
skirts.
hoop skirts.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's
Very, very unique silhouette of what women wore back then.
Really?
So, yeah.
Oh, cool.
Are they the hip things?
Yep. So you have to go
Yeah.
sideways through the
They're
doorways.
right here.
No,
They go
no
on the
front,
side.
no back, just all
On the
hips.
hips.
I always think of Marie Antoinette when I think of that. I don't know if she actually wore that, but for some reason I
Yeah.
Yeah.
have that stuck in my
We'll
head.
just have it be.
Yeah. Anyway.
How
More fun that way. So yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
definitely hope people really get into it.
Yeah.
And look up and get period appropriate with what they wear, and so that it just just feels like you're at an old ball.
Yeah.
In 1776.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
awesome.
And that'll be June
25th.
Right. June
Okay.
25th.
That's
And
exciting.
while we're thinking about it, why don't you just tell people how they can get tickets?
Yep. So tickets are available on our website. You can go to museumni.org/gala.
All right. That's easy.
Keeping it simple. Yeah.
We like simple.
Simple's the best.
It's the best.
We love simple too. We have a lot going on. We need to keep it simple.
Yeah. Need shirts, hats, signs, or stickers?
If you can dream it, Pyramid Printing can print it.
For over 25 years, Pyramid Printing has been a Coeur d'Alene favorite for screen printing, embroidery, banners, and more.
Big job, small job, no problem. Just give Eric a call and let the local pros take it from there.
Email info@pyramidprintingcda.com or call 208-664-0254 or visit pyramidprintingcda.com.
Pyramid Printing, printing made easy and done right.
The Ovation Company, in partnership with the Chalkboard Agency, is working to improve the climate and culture of our schools by focusing on what matters most: belonging. Research shows that when students feel connected, they thrive. And what creates connection better than a great story? That's why the Chalkboard Agency exists, to bring the world of education together through stories that inspire kindness, understanding, and community. After all, podcasts are how stories are shared, collected, and remembered. To learn more, visit thechalkboardagency.com. And if you have a story that could help young people be kinder to one another, reach out. Let's connect your story to the world.
So, Britt, it was, I want to say 5 or 6 years ago, maybe 7 or 8 years ago, that the house was actually moved. The old White House was moved from Sherman down here to the base of Tubbs Hill. But it took a long time for the museum to move in. So tell us a little bit about that process.
Yeah, so that was November of 2019.
Wow.
my
right
God.
before we heard about that fun little virus.
Right.
That was off in China, nothing for us to worry about. Right. And we decided we were going to move a house. Why not move a 120-year-old house across town? And we were all geared up and ready to get the bit of fundraising that we needed done so we could make it our museum. And then the whole world shuts down and economies go crazy and prices go up sky high, and so our $3 million project became a $6.5 million project.
Wow.
And at the time we were a $150,000 a year organization, so that's a big jump for us to have thought about. So we pivoted a little bit and figured out where we could make some cuts and when we could do certain things later, and what we could do so we got the project back down to a little over $3 million. It took us then a little bit to get that money in and to get the work done. 5 years.
Yeah.
And we thought it was only going to be 2 to 3 years. So our project's smaller than what we had originally thought it would be, but we do still have plans to get that done and do an expansion at some point in time. And in the meantime, we got to completely renovate the interior of this beautiful old home and bring it back to what it would have been like when it was built in 1903 as much as possible. We don't have a kitchen and that kind of stuff. But now it's set up really well to be our museum and have cool exhibits, and we can change our exhibits out every few months, and we have our permanent exhibit gallery, and we've got some programming space. And for me, what I'm super excited about is a conference room.
Yeah.
Which we always had to beg, borrow, and steal for places to
You're
meet.
right.
And now we have other people coming to us that are small nonprofits or groups or organizations.
Yeah, to
and
use
they
your
use
space.
Our conference room.
I love
So
that.
It's our way of being able to give back. And so
Right.
That's
it might
great.
not be one of the more glamorous parts of the museum, but I love it.
Well, how's it been? So it's almost been a year, and how's it going?
It's going great. Yeah, we always anticipated that the first year was going to be more of a whirlwind because it's a new space and you're trying to figure out how to use everything. And it went so well. I mean, we couldn't have asked for a better year. And we had really great exhibits, and we collaborated with the Idaho Commission on the Arts to bring in a nice exhibit. And then we were open year round. We didn't have to close at the end of October.
Yeah, that's a huge bonus. Yeah.
It was great. So we were able to do some holiday programming, and we did our Deck the Tables. We did a centerpiece event, which was really fun, and it was nice being open during the Christmas time. We got to decorate.
I love that.
So yeah, it was really, really great. There's always more to do, and so we actually closed down for the month of January because we did some work in the permanent exhibits, things that we saw that could be better, and so we made some changes there and worked on the exhibit that I was just talking about, and planned our busy year that we have that's coming up. And it's nice to be able to make this our dream museum.
So you're still raising money, and you still have things to do.
We always will be raising money.
Right.
I mean, that's just the nature of being a nonprofit.
Of course.
Fundraising
It never
just
ends.
doesn't end, especially now that we're in a bigger museum. We have more expenses. Our fundraising goals just get bigger than for operations, but we're in a better space to be able to do it. Our old building served us well for 30,
long time.
40 years, 45 years.
And that building's gone
It's
now.
gone.
Yeah.
I drove by and I
know.
was
I
like,
went, wait, I could see the lake.
I was just as shocked as you were. We had asked the city parks department to let us know before, and they had told us it was coming down in March. And they were like, yeah, we'll let you know before it comes down, because we wanted to go in and just sledgehammer somewhere where the water leaked all the time, and you're like, okay, finally.
Yeah.
And because of this unseasonably warm winter that we're having, they were able to just
do it.
up the date, and so we didn't get that advance notice. We didn't get to swing a sledgehammer. But
man.
it was just like it's never been there.
Yeah, I know. It's
crazy
weird.
to see. It was very eerie.
Yeah.
I'm getting used to it, but I still drive by and my eye goes right to the fact
like,
that
where
there's
is it?
nothing there.
That's
Yeah.
happening a lot in this town. I was like, where's that building?
I know,
What
right?
happened?
We are growing, that's for sure.
Yeah.
See the police info station in the park a lot easier now. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but all of a sudden now people are like, where'd that building?
Right. So what's your next phase for the museum that you're working towards?
So honestly, what we're working toward is just figuring out how we can best be a part of the community and serve the community's needs with the space that we have. And one thing that's nice that this space provides is we can have weddings here. And so that's a big thing that we've been getting a lot of inquiries on and trying to figure. I mean, we're museum folks, we're history folks. We don't know how to. We're not wedding folks.
Right.
Yeah.
So trying to figure out how to be into that world is always fun, but it's a gorgeous space. If I was getting married, I would absolutely.
Well, you have
get
that
married.
whole patio area.
Right.
Yeah. There's plenty of room.
And especially right now, it's not the greatest because nothing's in bloom. But as soon as spring and summer comes around, it's absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
And then you're right next to everything.
And the
that's
location,
downtown,
right next to
hotels everywhere.
Yeah, to McEwen, right next to Tubbs Hill.
And you can even, for your wedding, you can pay to have your guests come through the exhibits. So you want a little something extra for them to do, or for the kids to keep them occupied, and you can have them do the mining sluice, and they can dig for gold while everyone's getting a little schnockered up.
I love that, right?
It's a nice, unique space. So that's one of the big changes for us is, we've done weddings before with the chapel because we do still own the Fort Sherman Chapel.
Oh, right.
But it's a different level when you're doing whole ceremony and reception, not just the ceremony. So
Right.
it's a fun world for us, but we're now doing, since we're open year round, we do 3 different rotating exhibits every year. And so we're planning our next one coming up this summer is on Trailblazing Women of North Idaho.
Yay!
Nice.
Yeah, got to talk about those powerful women.
Powerful women. And they were powerful.
They were.
Yes.
Absolutely. And, you know, they didn't care what society said they should be doing. They just went and carved their own paths. And so love researching that exhibit and super excited to
That's fun.
And interesting that in the Pacific Northwest and Alaska, the women's right to vote came earlier than the rest of the country because everybody knew how important the women were here because they were tough.
Yep. Almost 25 years.
Yeah.
Before
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
I love that.
So it's a really great story that we'll be able to share, and hopefully people love it. And so we always get some people that are like, "Oh, why are you talking about women or immigrants and stuff like that?" It's like, well, we talk about history, so it doesn't matter what it is. We'll share our history because it's important to know the whole story.
It is important to know the whole story.
It happened.
Yes, it happened.
And then in the fall, we have an exhibit that is a traveling exhibit called War Comes Home, and it takes a look at, you were just talking about your son with the National Guard, and so it looks at starting from the Civil War on what it was like for families when they had someone that would go to the war and the toll that it took on families and what it was like then for soldiers once they came back home, trying to reintegrate back into society. And it looks at a lot of letters then between the families. So we'll have letters from Civil War soldiers that they wrote home. And then obviously we do everything with a local focus because we weren't exactly around in the Civil War. I wasn't.
Right.
But looking then at people that served, we have a lot of really nice letters from the Spanish American War. And so making sure we have that local focus to kind of paint that more humanized story of war and soldiers and
That's great.
and sailors and all of the different branches.
So if somebody wanted to come to the museum, what are your hours and what does it cost?
That is a loaded question.
Oh, right.
Our hours change so much by the season.
Okay.
So right now we're open Wednesday through Saturday from 11 to 5, and it's $6 for adults and $5 for seniors, and kids are just $2.
That's great.
And then we'll start.
But you can
adding
be a
in more
member.
days. Yeah. Thanks for the plug there.
There you go. A member.
You can be a member. They start at $30 a year, or you can even do monthly. It was $3 a month. And you get free admission for the whole year. So if you like all of our exhibits, you don't have to pay admission each time. You can just be a member.
I'm a member.
And comes with all a bunch of different benefits. And so memberships are great. And those are also on our website. But otherwise, we're open daily in the summer. And then it just kind of hops around with a whole bunch. So the best way to find out is just follow us on Facebook or pay attention to our website because we always update our hours on both of those places.
And let's say the website one more time.
museumni.org.
There you go. So in a world where you could do whatever you want with this organization, what would your dream be?
Oh, gosh. I feel like I could get myself in trouble if I start putting down all my dreams out there. People that don't realize that they're part of my dream are suddenly going to feel put on the spot. No, there's certain smaller historical sites that are sprinkled around North Idaho. I mean, we're not just the Museum of Coeur d'Alene. We are the Museum of North Idaho. And so there's organizations that I think we could help by having them be a part of the Museum of North Idaho umbrella. I don't want to name any of them so people think that I'm coming after them.
Right.
But I think there's a lot more collaboration that we can do so we can have more of a presence in these other areas and not just seem like we're the Museum of Coeur d'Alene. And especially because, I mean, North Idaho is mostly rural. And so these historical societies and historical sites, they're all volunteer run by the generosity of people that just have a passion for it. But you know, they didn't go through a master's degree in museum studies, and they don't have full-time staff that can dedicate so much more. And so by being able to collaborate with them, we can maybe help promote some more of these sites that are around North Idaho.
Oh, that's a great idea.
That's my big picture, my 10-year plan. I have 3 specific places that are
In
on
mind.
my wish list
Yeah.
of being able to be a part of and kind of see what they could grow into. So only time will tell if I'm able to
Right.
make it happen.
Stay tuned.
Oh, I bet you will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But obviously we need our expansion here. So that's my dream would be that we'd have all the money in the world
Right.
to build the exhibit gallery of my dreams and have just the most amazing interactive exhibits, and especially spaces that kids can be more engaged with. And when I say kids, honestly, kids of any age, because when I go to museums, I like to tinker with stuff and play around with it.
Right.
And so being able to have more interactive and hands-on components in our exhibit, so you're not
It's
just
just more engaging.
yeah. I mean, the photos are great. Reading and learning is interesting, but it's just kind of one static thing.
Yeah.
And so would love to be able to have a bigger exhibit gallery, which we will one day.
Yes, you will.
And have lots of money to put into it, which we will one day, to have these really nice,
Right.
engaging exhibits. Especially, like I said, for the kids, we want to be a very family-friendly space. In the wintertime, it's hard to try and figure out sometimes what to do with kids.
Yes.
When the weather can be who knows what. So having
Right.
a nice, stable indoor space where you can bring your kids here and they're going to have a great time, and it's also enriching. Like, what more could you want as a parent, right?
Right.
I don't have kids, so I like to say that with no knowledge whatsoever.
No, I feel like kids, when I was a kid, I grew up outside of Washington, D.C., so I had the Smithsonian's. They were like my playground.
Yeah.
And we spent all our time there, and
So
we
lucky.
never got bored there.
Yep.
I think the more interactive you can be, the more engaging, as I mentioned, for anybody, really, but
Right.
especially kids.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's a great aspiration for you.
Yeah. I want people to have fun with learning.
Yeah,
So I think we can be that.
I think
Absolutely.
you can too.
And I do want to mention, if you're looking for Coeur d'Alene or Idaho shopping, you do have a gift store here.
We do. Yeah. And it's open year round.
It's open year round.
I love saying that.
Yay!
Yeah, no, we try and focus as much as we can on local goods as well. So local artisans and crafters that make really cool things, and giving them a space to be able to highlight that. And then, of course, we always have the quintessential souvenirs, and
Oh, yeah.
for the tours that just want a keychain or a sticker.
Right.
Some
And so-
Huckleberry.
Right. Well,
Or
you gotta
Huckleberry.
have
Yeah.
Huckleberry everything. We even have Huckleberry margarita mix that we sell.
Wow.
So
Yep.
it comes in all forms.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a fun gift shop. Our volunteers often say that they pay to volunteer here because of how much stuff that they end up getting. In
Oh,
it.
yes.
And
Yeah.
I'm sure that would happen to me if I volunteered here.
got to be careful where you spend
Exactly,
your time.
right?
But yeah, it's nice. I mean, we're right on the Centennial Trail in Tubbs Hills. We get a lot of walkers that come by and they pop in, and sometimes they don't have time to go through the whole exhibits, but they'll stop and see the gift shop, and so it's great.
Yeah.
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 I love that. I mean, this location, when it was first introduced, I was a little worried about it, but I think because of all the action going on in McEwen and the activity on Tubbs Hill, and you have great parking now.
That's the best part. We have our own
Own
parking
parking.
lot. And
Yes.
in the front is a free city parking lot.
Right.
No
Yeah.
paying to park for the museum.
Yeah.
No giving out those little parking
Right.
passes anymore.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Big difference.
Yeah.
Because anyone who's familiar with Coeur d'Alene knows downtown parking
It's
in the
a-
summertime
it's
is
a lot.
It's tough.
It is, as my friend says, it's an extreme sport. So, but not if you come to the museum. It's
Yeah.
a nice
That's right.
leisurely
Easy
activity.
peasy.
And so
I happen to own the house two houses over, so I have parking too.
Yes, she does.
you don't have to worry about parking. You are the parking.
I am the parking. Yeah. I was like, during the flea market, I thought, I should charge for my parking.
Right?
It does. Parking gets crazy on those Sundays.
Just
Oh,
just
man.
come early, but
Right.
it's so worth it. There's food.
Oh,
there's
fun. It
There's
sounds like
music.
fun.
I love the music. Anytime there's live music, you got to go. And it's just lovely. And it's just a great community thing. So that's lovely that you guys are opening that up to the community. Yeah. When I heard it, I was like, what is going on? I didn't even know it was happening. And I was like, why, there's so many people. And then walked over and I was like, this is so great.
We just get to surprise the residents.
I love it.
Our neighbors now just being like, what? Why are there so many cars? It's us. So sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Same with the Harvest Festival. That one gets crazy for parking.
Wow.
Yep.
And it's at least just once a year. But
Right.
we have, because that keeps growing too. And so now we're going to be talking to the city to see taking parking away, but see if we can spread out into the parking lot out front a little bit.
Oh, that'd be great.
Because it's just, who doesn't love there's so many
everybody
free
loves
activities
that.
for kids, and then the music and all that.
Yeah.
And like you said, there's food and
Yeah.
and then
Right.
everything's orange, and just like the hat that you're wearing, your new fun hat. Everything's better orange.
I agree.
Harvest Festival's the time to come to the museum.
Come to
Right.
the museum.
Speaking of the orange hat, I need to give a shout out to Eric from Pyramid Printing. He is one of our sponsors,
Yes.
and he did a great job on our hats and some bags. The hats are on our website if you are interested in purchasing one.
They're
'Cause
great.
They're cool.
They are super cool.
I know, I love
am
them.
so proud I get to say I'm an owner.
That's
of
right.
An Callie and Callie
Yay!
orange hat.
Yay.
So, well, we just need to see them all around town.
That's right.
We do. We
It's
do.
a nice orange, too.
It is a nice orange.
Yeah, it's not neon. It doesn't hurt your eyes.
It's
Right.
paprika.
Oh, paprika. I like that.
That's my guess. I don't know.
Okay.
I'd call it paprika. I don't know.
Oh,
it,
boy.
it can be whatever we want.
That's right. Exactly.
Well, Britt, we are really looking forward to all the things you have planned, and so excited that you have been in this space and you're making it work, and you're providing such a great service for the community. So thank you.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
the best job in the world. And I have so much fun every day. What a great way to be a part of the community is
Exactly.
doing it in
Yeah.
this way. I am so fortunate.
And you do a great job.
Yeah. And the building's awesome. It looks beautiful.
It does look beautiful.
Great location.
Definitely
Plenty of
recommend you
parking.
coming down here and
Absolutely.
checking it out.
Don't take Allie and Callie's word for it. Come check it out.
Just-
yourself.
Exactly.
Do it for yourself.
We might be lying, but I don't think we are.
Don't listen to us. Just do it for yourself.
That's right.
You'll have a great time. You might learn something. 'Cause
I hope you do.
We're here
Right.
to educate, but you
Right.
know, I'm sure Britt knows a lot more than we do.
Yes, I have no doubt about that.
I also hope so. After 5 years, otherwise I might be doing something.
Yeah, right. Well, thank you again.
Yes.
And don't forget to like, follow, share, or subscribe to the Allie and Callie Artcast at
AllieCallieArtcast.com.
Yes, there you go. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram, and of course our website. Stay tuned for some exciting stuff coming up from Arizona, but this month we're also featuring artists from Sandpoint.
Yes.
So we've got some very cool.
We're going to try to go everywhere this year.
We
We're going to
are.
go to Wallace. We're going to
If
go.
we could go to Italy, we would.
We would.
Why can't you?
Because
Because it's a little out of our budget. We need bigger sponsors.
I was just going to say more sponsors.
more sponsors. We're Idaho and beyond.
Right.
Is the
We
goal.
are Idaho and
Because
beyond.
we just want to meet creative people.
And bring that back to the community because we feel like it's inspiring.
It is.
Yes.
From
so
everywhere.
6 years, baby.
We did it.
So thank you again.
Yes.
Thank you guys. This
Yeah.
is awesome. Love the time that I get to chat
Yay.
with you too.
Yay.
Come to the museum. Get your tickets. We'll see you soon at the museum
That's right.
with an orange hat.
With an orange hat. Yeah, look for the orange. You can't miss us.
Can't miss us. Yeah.
And I'm Allie.
I'm Callie, and whatever you do today, make sure it's creative. The Allie and Callie Artcast is sponsored in part by Scraps Barbecue, a locally owned catering company, the Chalkboard Agency, Getting Back to the Basics of Shared Learning and Human Connection, and Pyramid Printing, a Coeur d'Alene favorite for over 2 decades.